long-term holders have been offloading their Bitcoin faster than the hungry hippo himself, GigaChad. Michael Saylor has been buying, marking the first official top is in call by the so-called experts. Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey. Good morning, everybody. My name's Matty B. That is Scaramucci's. This is your morning tea. A brief glimpse into the crypto markets where the sun's shining, where the wind's blowing. Oh, the humble opinion of this piano Zamboni bringing the FOMO index has fallen to 78 from yesterday's 79. Bitcoin dominance is 54.4%. 24-hour volumes 181 billion. The overall market cap 3.58 trillion. Give or take 100 million. Well, in a move that surprised nobody, Bitcoin price action snoozed its way through the weekend, reinforcing this humble piano's opinion that retail is not here yet. After Friday regained 101K, the bears woke up and swatted price action back down to the 20 moving average, where we spooned her the rest of the weekend, then made one more push for 101K, woke the bears back up, and we insta-rejected back down under the 20 moving average and into the loving arms of the 50 moving average, finding a bottom in a bounce at 98.5, which is also the 61.8% fib, carving out another cute little symmetrical triangle of neutrality, whose downside exits we are currently plating for support with. Bullishly speaking, I'd like to see price action break out of this triangle today up at 100.8-ish, and my heartbreakingly bullish outlook would be to retest the extension of our old channel of ascension support, which would now be acting as resistance, up at 103.8-ish. Now over on the ding-dong, you can see we did close our first candle above 100K yesterday, 101.2 to be precise. But we have received a bearish engulfing candle in response, signaling the bears did come in and take over the market. We do have a confluent bearish target down at 97.5 because it is where this channel of ascension support is, followed by our old channel of eternal monotony's resistance, now acting as support, and it's also where the 20 moving average is, so that's triple word bearish score at that level. I'll be keeping me peepers on that level of confluide to hold, because if I say she doesn't hold, that would be an official breakout and down of all three of those structures. Not bullish. Now, my heartbreakingly bullish outlook would be for the market to open and choose violence, and we see this candle reverse into the green, breaking out of this channel of ascension up at 101.8. We managed to stay above it for the rest of the day, and maybe, just maybe, close a new all-time high candle on the daily. Quick look at the Wookiee, sees we did. Close the candle green, leaving a lot of wicks to deal with, and are currently carving out the start of a bearish engulfing candle. Now F, and I say if we were to close this week's candle at or below 97.2, that would mint the bearish engulfing candle, which would signal continued bearish momentum moving into next week and would mime the appearance of a local rounded top, which would then signal the quant bots to lay in their sell orders heading into the monthly close, which does see lower volume as people are holidaying and spending time out of the market. Not us, obviously. I mean normal people. We'll be, of course, checking the charts on a 10-minute basis. All Christmas Eve night and Christmas morning. Because some things, well, they never change. And would you look at that, my friends? The sun's up. It's another beautiful day here on planet Earth, a day none of us are guaranteed. We're not guaranteed these days, but we're lucky enough to have them anyways. So get out there and knock them dead. And remember, we're playing the same game as our psychopathic elected elites. And that's right, it's the long game. So zoom out and have a fantastic day. Almost no voice. And we'll be going live right away, so grab yourself a coffee, join me for a quick one, and by all means, sing it with me now. I'll run the banks of Boomdish Bank, Bitcoin, crypto, morning tea. Hey, that's Duke playing the piano upstairs. Wonder what he's playing. I didn't hear that while I was listening to the video. I was thinking while I was drinking my coffee that I held off. Usually I drink coffee at 4 a.m. as soon as I get up, right? I thought I'm going to hold it off. I saw Andy Huberman say something about holding off your coffee. Maybe it makes the day a little better. So I tried it. Didn't make the initial day better, but we'll see. Anyways, that's not, I was sitting there enjoying the first cup of coffee after 3 hours of holding it off. And I was like, remember that saying, you'll own nothing and be happy, happy, happy. You'll own nothing, 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 and be happy, happy, happy. I was thinking it could be augmented, and it may have a certain degree of validity moving into the future as you'll own nothing but Bitcoin and be happy. And to me, I can see that maybe becoming the future, and a couple of reasons why is because the concept of the younger generation moving in, right? They're not incentivized the way the older generations were when they were moving in. It's like, well, what first thing you got to do is buy a house, buy a car. You got to do that. That's the first thing you got to do. That's what, the boomers, the Gen Xers, and maybe even the millennials. I don't know. Is that under Gen X? I'm not sure. No one really, what does it matter underneath the Gen X, right? He's really giving her up there. But that's not how it's incentivized anymore. It's become like an echo of what you should do as you come into yourself, financially. And I think it's going to be more incentivized to buy Bitcoin because besides the Western world, like you have all these smaller countries, these flyover countries who they're not buying houses and property. Why would they buy a house that basically has no value wherever that country is? Maybe the government owns it. There's no real land ownership or real estate ownership. Why wouldn't they all just buy Bitcoin? And at that point, you got a flywheel kind of ripping its way through the entire world until people will see no value in storing. I mean, everyone needs a place to live, right? But when the under the Gen Xers, they're more nomadic. Their big plan to live in Winnipeg, Manitoba for the rest of your life is a thing of the past, essentially. And until you have a family and have kids, at that point you start thinking that you may want to put roots in somewhere. But people are having kids later now. It's not like JP, you got some really good low end. That's I was sick all kind of weekend. Not sick. I was just harboring a virus. So, you know, the thing that, remember Duke was come down here and his voice would be all screwed up. Well, finally it found its way in, and I just managed to pull off Saturday night. It was crazy because when I was warming up before the show, if the voice wasn't there, and I told Kyle, I think you're gonna have to do the heavy lifting tonight. We'll see right after the sound check song. And, miraculously, it managed to last through the show. It was a little rough. It was when the voice is rough, it's like a skateboarder with doll grip tape. You can't carve out what is it, tic tac or whatever. You can't grab that rail and grind it because your feet are going to slip, vocally speaking. So you got to take it a little different. What am I talking about here? And so, yeah, and now it's, I almost kiboshed the video actually, because I couldn't sing like, the Bitcoin crypto more. I had to do it a bunch of times, and it sounded, there's a difference between like a tired voice that sounds kind of, groovy, and a tired voice that sounds like something's wrong. Right. And it's somewhere in there. So anyway, what the hell was I talking? Yeah. And the concept of car ownership too. With all these bots coming down, that's a thing of the past. And I mean, everyone knows buying a car is a horrible investment. Like it's funny that there's a bunch of financial advisors at the Squash Club, and they are the first to hop into a Range Rover, and they do pretty well, but we're not talking like disposable income Range Rover. Well, like probably 100, 200. It's a lot of money in Winnipeg, but to buy a Range Rover, upwards 100, 150K as a financial advisor, like imagine explaining that to your client. Did you just buy a Range Rover? Yeah. So let me get this straight. You bought it and you lost 50% of it as soon as you drove it off the lot? Yeah. Don't do what I do. Just do what I say. And what I mean get into these low risk mutual funds that don't really pay anything but make my trailers go ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling for the rest of our relationship as advisor and client. I have a pretty naked. I actually ran into a guy from Toronto at the Squash Club. He was a younger guy, and this was an interesting kind of eye-opening aspect of how early we are, because we started talking about Bitcoin. Now, of course, he doesn't know that I sit here at 4 to 8 in the morning and make these videos. I'm just a guy playing squash, and he's an investment banker in Toronto. I'm like, so what's the consensus on Bitcoin there? And he's like, well, it's it's having quite a run, but people are I go, and then I always, before they kind of convince themselves that they didn't miss out, I just try to jump in and say, are you getting questions from your clients? Are the people wanting it? And they're like, well, not really. I found that super surprising, which goes to show, this is bugging me here. Let me fix this. There we go. Which goes to show how early we are and how retail really isn't here. And you can tell retail isn't here because on the weekends, if it just sits there, that means retail's gone. It means Wall Street closed at 3:30 because all the dinosaurs were like, well, it's 3:30 Friday. We should probably close up the shop. And what I mean by the shop, I mean the entire stock market. Heavens to Murgatroyd, we don't want to be open all weekend long. Holy skibbity, that'll be too much time in the market. And they shut down, and once they shut down, you see Bitcoin price heartbeat go boom, 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 beep. And we got a little push to 101. I think we got over 100, but we did get that daily close on the ding dong. This is it. That's a daily close over 100K. That's a big deal because up until then we were just We were just throwing 30-year-old drunken birthday cry girls over 100K, and they don't mean anything, right? No one takes them seriously. Or you're crying, you're happy, you're crying, you're happy, you're 30, you're drunk, blah, 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 right? Until we close that candle. And when I said on the weekly here, if we were to close this bearish engulfing candle, 97.2 right here, let me make this a little bigger for y'all there. I'll use the arrow. Why not? The arrow's there. Why not use it? Oh, what did I do? I took the green smoke. Okay, here's the arrow. We close this at 97.2. That will be a bearish engulfing candle. Now, it means a little more on the weekly than it does on the ding-dong or the 4-hour chart because this is, more indicative of the market's macro movement. So what it does look like to me, and, I hope I'm wrong, not that wrong usually, it looks like a rounded top. Now, it doesn't mean it's the top. Like with the title the top is in, I just use that because we're starting to hear it, right? And it was because of the long-term holders. And long-term holders they're like, to me, it was, I think the article read people holding longer than 155 days. I'm like, 155, that's not a long-term holder. That's a noob. That's still a noob. Anyway, they were selling into MicroStrategy's buying, and obviously he bought more. So I'm almost expecting a dump because, every time Michael Saylor buys Bitcoin, like market spot buys thousands of Bitcoin, the market usually dumps. It's a good opportunity for, these long-term holders to get some exit liquidity, I suppose. So that's what's happening. So Monday, this is what I mean by around the top. I don't mean the top, like we're going back down. I just mean around the top. See, we got these pesky wicks here. I don't like these wicks. No one does, particularly on this channel. The ethos, that which once wicked will get candlesticked, plays out more than it doesn't play out. So it wouldn't be so crazy to, skid off December, maybe early January, because January is not that volatile in the first couple weeks. And at the end of December, hey, there's Duck He's saying, have you smashed the likes? 68 likes. So December, things wind up. Those old dinosaurs who are like, holy skibbity, the stock market's still open. Shut the stock market. It's Friday at 3:30 for the love of Pete. And then when Christmas comes, it's like, well, it's the Christmas holidays. Shut down the stock market. Well, we can't shut down the stock market. Well, okay, we're going to go take a helicopter to the Hamptons. So we're going to see a lot of low volume. Not to say we might. I mean, if there was ever going to be a Santa rally, it would be in 2024. I don't think we're going to get it in 2025 because by then we will be in a certain gray area of denial of the bear market by next year. Now, will we see the stereotypical bear market? I don't know. We'll see a downturn, but will we see an 80% retracement from whatever the high is? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to give this a shot, Carl Elder. Carl Elder with a super chat says, hit the likes, people. Hit it all day long. Hit the likes when you listen to this song. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, I'm still stuck. Still stuck. I did it. The voice made it. Thank you for the super chat, Carl Elder. Much appreciated. So, yes, moving into December, it's generally low volume with a little bit of a Santa rally. You never know. I would expect it this December. I wouldn't expect it next December, being 2025. We'll be singing a different tune by then. So we can see how moving into December, low volume, say for a Santa rally, that might peak up to this arbitrary line I just drew in the sand here. We could see maybe it comes down to 93. It wouldn't be crazy. 93. It's not even 10%. We haven't got the 10%ers, Tucker, yet. We haven't got the 10 with a 30%. Sorry, excuse me. That was a Freudian slip. We haven't got the 30% pullbacks yet. Now, I know a lot of people that are new to the market now. If they hit a 30% retracement and went down to 70, they'd freak the F out. Wouldn't they, Randy Hipper? Guys, I think I drank too much coffee. You're not the only one, Randy. You can tell. When Pianomatty's had too much coffee right before the stream, it's nonstop filibuster. And I like it because the flow's nice. I can actually kick my feet up, do the recliner in my intellectual love seat for one, and just listen to the thoughts cascade, right? That's what too much coffee does on a live stream. And now I'm a passenger and an observer, a spectator, if it were, just like everyone else, just watching the live stream, watching some nutcase talk for 30 minutes, having no real control or direction, except for a couple of bumpers, like in a channel in Lake of the Woods. It's a cabin that sometimes we go to. There's the green and red beacons that you got to keep the boat in. I have those intellectually, even though I'm watching and I'm my own spectator in this free flow live stream, if it were. Carl Elder says 2 coffees and I'm through the roof. I don't do caffeine because of that. Well, I tried. The truth be told, Carl Elder, truth be told, my goal this morning was to not drink any coffee, maybe take another run at stopping coffee. And so it was from 4 to 7. I didn't drink any coffee. Then I was sitting there like, what am I going to do here? I got an hour to kill. What should I do? And while I'm thinking that, I'm making coffee, right? Like I know what I'm going to do, but I'm just in my own denial. I don't know. Maybe I'll make something to eat, and I'm making grinding it. Anyway, that's how the coffee ran. So anyway, long story short, moving into, you see the heater turned off? It's all of a sudden peaceful. Whew, you can hear that nice piece. I want to thank everyone for tuning in on Saturday to the piano stream. That was officially the most viewed piano stream of this channel. It was 600 views. Now, if you've been a long time viewer of the piano stream, we'll coast between 250, 300 and 325. Those are normal. So to jump up to 600, it's monumental for me because, my dream is to have the biggest piano live stream in the world. And we do, but you know what I mean. I mean, a legit big marquee, like a normal person's live stream, so that's what we're working on there. So thank you very much for everyone who tuned in and made those numbers possible. Maybe I'll change the chords here. Hey, just a PSA. The FBI mentioned earlier in the week that the text messages between Android and Apple are not secure. Chinese hacking. It's not really that. That's too major sounding. You get the picture. You're trying to use that the Chinese aspect of sounds. I didn't know that. Let me revisit that because I was singing, not thinking. Hey, just a PS. Where's that? Come on, let's find it again. Hey, just a PSA. The FBI mentioned earlier in the week that text messages between Android and Apple are not secure. Chinese hacking. I was actually surprised to hear that. Is TikTok being banned in the States in December sometime this month? Is that something that's actually happening? All blackies? Yeah, all the black keys lasers. Thanks, now I know it. Next time I won't screw it up and waste everyone's time, God damn it, trying to figure it out. I was surprised to hear that that TikTok's going to be banned. My niece and nephew, who are 16, I know they've been talking about it for years, but I wasn't sure that was ever going to happen because why? You know, it seems like we're moving out of banning and censorship and what have you. We're moving kind of into more of a a free society. Remember free society when, as long as you didn't hurt anyone or anybody or yourself, you're pretty much safe to do whatever you want. So I was surprised to hear that my niece is 16 and my nephew's 14. I guess they were on it. They're gone. So that's weird. I didn't know it was already in a banned state. So, I don't know. I am on TikTok, but it's just like a necessary evil. When I do those shorts, I just run it through this thing called video.io, and it'll aggregate them to the socials. So I don't even look at the TikTok, but I know it goes to TikTok. Not sure how they perform. If they're anything like the YouTube shorts, it's absolutely random. One short that means nothing, has no real because sometimes when I like upload one of these streams, it'll say these are your best shorts, really, and I'm like, really, are those the best shorts? And I'll be skeptical, and then one of them will do well, and by well I mean 700. Of course, if I do a live isolated video of Justin Bieber, it'll 10,000, right? And so, hey, buddy, did you just wake up or what's the story? Do you have any voice? Yeah. Oh, okay, well, let's give it a shot then. I heard you practicing the piano upstairs. What were you practicing? I don't know. You don't know, eh? Okay. Well, let's, what are you going to sing? Wipe the sleep from my eyes. Well, let me turn this on. What are we going to play for the good peeps today? To sing them out and start their Monday on a remember, it's hard to talk when there's piano.
Yeah,
going.
I know that.
Oh, you do, eh? A little snarky today on a Monday morning, don't you think? Yeah, you do. A reminder, this stream will take you to Randy Hipper's stream at 8:45. You don't have to do anything. I'll just take it. A magic caravan ride to Randy Hipper's channel. What are you going to play, buddy?
Loneliest Lamborghini.
Okay.
I want the loneliest Lamborghini in the world. I know my life will never be the same. I'll drive the onlyest Lamborghini in the world. The day I die, until the day I die. There's only so much money in the world. You got to get it while you can. I tried to tell them, but you just can't save them all. The chance is blown, their minds are wrong. 'Cause that's why I own the loneliest Lamborghini in the world.